What's up, bruh? So, as you probably already know, Deshaun Watson got some some problems heading his way. The quarterback for the Houston Texans has been accused of sexual harassment and sexual assault by, it says here, up to 12 women have filed a suit, but 22 women, as a lawyer, Tony Buzbee, has said, has came to him and accused Deshaun. Man, these numbers is getting crazy. And it started with 2, then it went to 7, then 12. Now I said 22. But he has denied all allegations. Obviously, when it first came down, his first response was this: as a result of social media posts by a publicity-seeking plaintiff's lawyer, I recently became aware of a lawsuit that has apparently been filed against me. I have not yet seen the complaint, but I know this: I've never treated any woman with anything other than the utmost respect. The plaintiff's lawyer claims this isn't about money, but before filing suit, he made a baseless 6-figure settlement demand, which I quickly rejected. Unlike him, this isn't about money for me. It's about clearing my name, and I look forward to doing that. Now, he admitted that Tony Buzbee, in his press conference, he said, we actually had contact with Deshaun Watson's agent lawyer from Los Angeles, who minimized these allegations, who did not take them seriously. Buzbee said, we wanted to resolve this matter without a lawsuit, without any publicity. We knew that once we filed a lawsuit, Texas, of course, has an open court provision in the Constitution, so all lawsuits are public. We wanted to avoid that. So keep in mind, what he's admitting is the now 12 women he is officially representing did not want to go to court, or at least he convinced them not to go to court and to settle for money outside of it. It sounds like extortion, if you ask me. Now, these women, I'm gonna listen to one of their allegations here, and you can have your own opinion about how realistic it sounds or not. But I wanted to say, this is nothing new. Obviously, a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon that the reason why this is happening is because Deshaun Watson asked for a trade from the Houston Texans, and out of nowhere, these allegations just came out of left field. But we're gonna listen to one of the allegations against him by one of the accusers.
This incident happened December 2020. We have another African-American woman, a licensed massage therapist.
So far, the 2 women that we know about, both are African-American.
She had been in business since 2018. She was newly engaged. She had graduated chiropractic school. She was really excited. Watson reached out to her on Instagram and asked for a session. Plaintiff was excited that someone like Deshaun would want to get a massage from her, as she was trying to expand her client base. And that massage was ultimately scheduled December 28th in the morning, an office building. Her mom helped her get set up for the massage. Her mother eventually left. Watson arrived. Plaintiff left the room to let him get undressed. And when she came back in, he was laying on the massage table, completely naked, with only a towel covering his buttocks. Plaintiff was extremely confused, as normally you're supposed to be fully draped. Throughout the session, Watson refused to fully cover himself, even at plaintiff's request. He also made clear repeatedly that he was a professional football player who could help or hurt her career.
That really don't make sense. If he said that to you and you felt like he was threatening you, regardless of what he said, you could have just left long before anything got worse. If you saw he was naked, you didn't feel comfortable with it, he wouldn't do anything different, just leave. So I don't understand that.
During this session, Watson forcibly told her to move her hand towards his pubic area.
I heard about it because I was talking about it.
He also instructed her to slide her hand across his genitals.
No.
Plaintiff started shaking, and Watson knew she was afraid. She was intimidated and felt.
That sounds like storytelling. That's detail you wouldn't really be able to know. The whole shaking, that's storytelling at that point. You're supposed to be giving us the facts of what he's been accused of.
Threatened by him. She was afraid of what someone like Watson could do. He kept coercing and intimidating her to the point where he coerced her to move her mouth towards her penis, forcing her to perform oral sex on him.
That sounds like bullshit. If someone is trying to move your head towards a genital area, you would just walk away. You would say, I don't want to do this, I'm out. You went along with it. If this is even a real thing that happened, it probably went down nothing like she's saying, or the accusation being put against him. But like I said, I wasn't there, I don't know. But this sounds like a lot of storytelling in this, and how they're saying this.
Plaintiff did not consent to any of this conduct. She blacked out with fear. She was terrified. She felt helpless. After he was finished, he offered no apology.
Why would he apologize if he just, basically, according to this person's accusation, he just raped you? He just sexually assaulted you. Why would he apologize afterwards? That makes no sense. But you get the point of one of the allegations against him. They're saying that he forced her to give oral sex. But you look at here, after Buzbee's announcement of the first lawsuit Tuesday, I already read his reaction to it. But I want to get to this. The 7 lawsuits filed so far depict a pattern of sexual assault against massage therapists in the Houston area. One woman alleged she was forced into oral sex. We just listened to that during the course of a massage. 6 of the lawsuits alleged these were one-time encounters with Watson. So 6 of the 7 women that have filed a lawsuit against him said it was a one-time thing. But one woman alleged she was sexually assaulted by Watson on multiple occasions. How is it possible for someone to sexually assault you multiple times when they literally have to call you to come to them? So he DM'd you. I guess this is another person he met on social media, on Instagram. You met up. He sexually assaulted you. You left. He DM'd you again, or got in contact with you again, and you came back multiple times. How is that even sexual assault at this point? What are we talking about here? But anyway, that lawsuit says the first massage was booked through the spa where the licensed esthetician worked. The 6 other lawsuits allege Watson first inquired about the massage through Instagram direct messages. 3 of the 4 lawsuits filed Thursday night accused him of inappropriate contact. Watson's behavior is part of disturbing pattern of preying on vulnerable women, the 4th lawsuit says. It's kind of weird to put it in a lawsuit. But anyway, Deshaun Watson's defense against sexual assault lawsuits began to surface. So on Friday, a number of sexual assault claims filed against Watson increased to 7, with 5 more pending, according to the victim's lawyer, Tony Buzbee, who added he had spoken to 10 additional women who still need to be vetted. According to Buzbee, the 3-time Pro Bowler assaulted a massage therapist, with one alleging she was forced to perform oral sex. Another alleged it became apparent that Watson wanted a massage for only one reason: sex. According to that, he acted in an aggressive manner and touched her with his genitalia. The majority of the women who already have filed suits have claimed Watson initially contacted them through Instagram. Watson told TMZ that he only contacted the women via social media because his regular masseuse was unavailable due to COVID. And let me say this. That sounds kind of, what do you mean your regular masseuse was unavailable because of COVID? Is it an older woman or older man who didn't want to take the chance? Now, I will say that excuse is kind of weird. If they can come out there, couldn't your normal masseuse come? But there might be circumstances I don't know about. But anyway, Watson asked various acquaintances for recommendations, and the sources added that Watson put an emphasis on privacy and specified the area he wanted massaged to make sure the masseuse was comfortable and to ensure things stayed professional. At least one masseuse said her complaint that she found it somewhat peculiar that an NFL player would seek a massage from her because he is not yet a well-known masseuse. Well, shouldn't you be happy he took a chance on you? Sources close to Watson also told the website that the 25-year-old insisted he never crossed the line with the alleged victims, and that he strongly believes they're being led by a money-hungry attorney who's looking for a payout. Now let's get into this attorney, Tony Buzbee, who's kind of, from what I've seen, considered slick. One of those slick dudes, kind of fast talker, typical lawyer, honestly. But Tony Buzbee says he doesn't know the Texans or McNair family. Now the McNair family are the ones who own the Houston Texans. So a lot of people see, Deshaun Watson ask for a trade, accusations come out, and it just so happens the people that are accusing Watson are represented by the neighbor of the family that owns the team. So a lot of people found that kind of coincidence, I guess. But more to talk about with Tony Buzbee is, let's get into who he is as his character. Now, Tony Buzbee, amongst the Texans in his area, the River Oaks area, they know him as the guy who had a tank in his front yard. Yes, he purchased a tank. The Marine, he's a Marine veteran, but he purchased a tank and had it in his front yard, got a bunch of complaints. That's just one thing. I just want to show you how he's one of those even more things that I think needs to be investigated. Woman accused of $300K in damage to art at attorney Anthony Buzbee's River Oak home. Now, this is the woman. This right here is the woman who is accused of breaking or damaging property in his home. 3 paintings, if I'm not mistaken. You think that's not a big deal. He had this 29-year-old woman in his home, allegedly on a first date, quote unquote, and she damaged some of his expensive pictures in his home. We know that those paintings are they cost a lot of money and they're worth a lot of money. Now, more than likely, she was a prostitute. I mean, look at this woman here. Let's be honest. This probably is a prostitute. Let's be honest. Probably had a prostitute in his house, maybe some drugs, or maybe she started acting out and started destroying property. More than likely, that's what happened. This is another part of that story. 2 art pieces destroyed by allegedly drunken first date at attorney Tony Buzbee's home. These were original paintings, so once again, worth a lot of money. Over $300,000 worth of sculptures and original paintings, right? Now let's get into this. Another part of this is someone broke into his home, ring going around, people going around stealing robbing these houses. 3 guns, $50,000 worth of watches, 6 high-price paintings. So once again, somebody gets in his house, steals or destroys paintings. I mean, come on. Anybody who can put 2 and 2 together already know what this is. He's scheming. These are fraud situations where you have people destroy or steal paintings from him so he can flip it to make money because there's insurance policies on this stuff. Let's be honest. The reason why they took the guns and the $50K worth of watches is to make it look cleaner. The real thing they wanted is 6 high-priced paintings. Like, come on. Let's be honest. That clearly looks like some fraud going on, and he's flipping paintings with insurance policies. But anyway, so that's who he is. But let's get into the text messages that were released by Tony Buzbee to prove that Deshaun Watson is guilty. The blue is the woman, the one who's accusing him. She says, "So the restroom isn't available at the moment. Try to go if you can before you come. Thank you." He said, "Okay, 2:45 here." Then he said afterwards, "Sorry about you feeling uncomfortable. Never were the intentions. Let me know if you want to work in the future. My apologies." So he apologized for allegedly doing something that made her feel uncomfortable. We don't know what that is. We saw in the other thing that he actually said he wanted to make sure that the masseuse that he's going to are comfortable with doing what he wanted to do, so there would be they wouldn't be against it. But anyway, here's another text message. "I could do Swedish deep tissue, sports massage, trigger point. I know Houston is so big. I moved here from Wisconsin and I still get used to it." And then he said, "I'm more of a Swedish guy. Are you working tomorrow?" She said, "I do a lot of Swedish, and yes, I am." And then he said, "Are you comfortable with the glutes area?" Now he's asking, this actually proves his point that he's being very professional and respectful to everybody. He right here says, he asked her right here, "Are you comfortable with the glutes area or the buttocks?" And clearly she said yes. So I don't understand how this proves him wrong or guilty of anything. This actually makes him look more innocent. But that just shows me this whole case, it seems kind of flimsy. If anything, he might settle out just to get his name out of the news if it gets drug on too long. I hope not. Hopefully, if he's innocent, he do fight to the end to prove his innocence and don't give in. But to me, this really shows the resurgence of the Me Too era. Seems like it's coming back after Biden got in all. When Biden was running, Me Too kind of hurried up and died because of the allegations that Tara Reid put against him and a few other women actually that nobody talk about. So Me Too had to die in order to help Biden. So now it's coming back, not just with Watson, but Cuomo. As you know, he's been accused by the now 8th woman, if I'm not mistaken. Now this is a current aide. A current aide to Governor Andrew Cuomo accused him of trying to cover up the allegation that he groped one of her colleagues while also sharing her own disturbing interactions with her boss, according to report Friday. Now, I've read some of these allegations against Cuomo. A lot of it was flirting. That is what it is. A lot of it was flirting, but there are starting to be some more damning allegations against him. Alyssa McGarth told the New York Times that the unidentified accuser confided in her that how Cuomo touched her breast under her blouse inside the executive mansion late last year. She froze when he started doing that stuff to her, McGarth reportedly said. Cuomo asked the woman not to discuss the alleged incident. She said, adding that he knows they are friends who regularly speak and text each other. He told her specifically not to tell me. Now, this is the woman that's making allegations now. So yeah, do with that information as you will. McGrath, 33, also detailed her own creepy encounter with Cuomo, 63, alleging that he looked down her blouse to compliment her on her necklace and told her in Italian that she's beautiful. In addition, Cuomo asked her about her lack of a wedding ring and status of her divorce. So he was flirting. Now, she did say he did not inappropriately touch her or do anything to her, but she did bring up for some reason that she think he looked down her blouse. But right here said the first current state employee to publicly accuse Cuomo of misconduct amid the spiraling series of allegations that have prompted widespread calls for his resignation, as well as independent investigation by attorney Latasha James and an impeachment investigation by the State Assembly's Judicial Committee. So they're going after Cuomo hard. We saw Schumer, AOC, all them, de Blasio, the mayor of New York. They all coming at Blum. Cuomo trying to get him out of here. But guess who he falls back on? Guess who he falls back on to protect himself? Cuomo leans on black leaders to build his defense. Yes, you read that right. Cuomo, with all these allegations, immediately ran to the black community in New York in order to defend himself. It says here, as he faced the worst political crisis of his tenure, Governor Andrew Cuomo visited a black church in Harlem this week to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. But he clearly had another agenda as well. One black minister or political figure after another rose to offer praise to Mr. Cuomo, with the leader of the state chapter of the NAACP, Hazel N. Dukes, even referring to the governor as her son, insisting that he ain't white. That's such the NAACP. Abolish the NAACP. I can't stand those people, man. Oh my God. And the stuff people say about our elders in our community, I don't like to say it. But some of the stuff the elders in our community do, man. Good Lord. Then Charles B. Rangel, the former longtime congressman and New York political icon, heralded the importance of due process, telling people to back off until you get some facts. When opposition starts piling up, said Mr. Rangel, now 90, you go to your family, you go to your friends because you know they will be with you. He's making the argument that Cuomo is going to his family, the black people, because he know they'll believe him. They got my back. As Mr. Cuomo navigates a deepened scandal of allegations of sexual harassment, he has leaned on a deep well of support in the black community, which has reliably backed him and twice helped him win re-election. The governor and his associates have been working the phone, seeking the support of black leaders and elected officials who could serve as a firewall against the barrage of calls for his resignation and impeachment.
So let's go deeper into the crosstabs. Here's where it really gets interesting. Among whites, he's at 22% favorable, 67% unfavorable, meaning that he's underwater, as we say. Among people of color, among blacks, those numbers reverse. 66% favorable, just 15% unfavorable. Again, the Siena College poll showed similarly lopsided results. Whites only 37% favorable, blacks 61%.
See, Cuomo understands when the Democratic Party is done with you, you have to prove, I got the black support. I got the quote unquote backbone of the party supports me. Really the sheep, but we're going to move on for that. They still support me, so you guys can't get rid of me quite yet, even though I think they're pretty much done with him. The phone calls have supplemented the governor's recent visits to vaccinated sites, often flanked by Black and Latino members of the clergy. The Reverend Al Cloakfield, who joined Mr. Cuomo at the center in Manhattan for one of the event he attended to send a purposeful message. I'm standing with the governor. Of course y'all is. Oh God. And it's not even the saddest part. Oh my God. It's I don't understand our people, man. It's crazy. But yeah, man, that's what I believe. This is just all the Me Too movement coming back. I do believe that Cuomo probably was flirting with women. Deshaun might have, had a few of those women and, insinuated, some sex here and there. But do I think he raped them or forced them to do it? No, I'll be honest. I don't believe any of these women were forced. Do I believe they're all lying about it all happening? Not quite. But I don't think none of them were forced to do it. But this story is pretty interesting too, this bad baby story. But anyway, man, all praise to the Most High and peace. Like, comment, and subscribe too.